Uh, in your book, also, you seem to no, you don't seem you position Russia as playing a unique role in resisting the Gog and Magog world order as well. How should Muslims understand the balance between welcoming the resistance and not falling into blind allegiance to any nation state?
It is the fault of the world of Islamic scholarship that they have failed miserably so and embarrassingly so in understanding what the Quran has to say on the subject of Gog and Magog. You cannot find a single prominent scholar of Islam anywhere in the world today who is prepared to explain the subject from the Quran correctly. Allah has spoken of Gog and Magog only twice in the Quran, only twice. So it's not so difficult if there are only two references. One is in Surah Al-Kahf and is connected with Zulkarnain. And Zulkarnain is connected with the Black Sea. The Black Sea. And Zulkarnain is described in the Quran as eventually prevailing over people living in the region of the Black Sea on behalf of the Lord God. He's given blessed with power, and he uses that power to punish the oppressor and to punish those and to reward those who live the religious way of life. That's the profile of Zulkarnain. And he travels to the west and he travels to the east. And then when he travels in the third direction, which we recognize to be a pass in the Caucasus Mountains, there he comes across Gog and Magog. And he succeeds in containing the power of Gog and Magog behind the barrier. Gog and Magog are human beings. I don't have the time, Wahid, to keep on repeating 500,000 times what I've taught so many times already. I'm an old man now. And I'm tired of repeating what I'm repeating. But it's just like water falling on the backs of a duck. I can speak 1,000,000 times. They will never accept my views. This was Gog and Magog being contained behind the barrier. They are powerful people, human beings, but they use their power to oppress. They are people with indestructible power, but they use their power to oppress. They use their power in a decadent way, in a godless way, in a pagan way. And when he contained Gog and Magog behind that barrier, the world was safe from Gog and Magog. That is Surah Al-Kahf of the Quran. But because Allah describes him as Zulkarnain, the implication is that he's someone, not someone who has two horns. No, because the Quran refers to Karn many, many times, the word Karn. And not even once does the Quran use the word Karn to mean horn. Every time the Quran uses the word Karn, it refers to a generation, a people, an epoch. So we dismiss that nonsense about the horn. Let the schoolboys follow that. So now then, because he is Zulkarnain, the implication, Wahid, and I have tried to teach this, and I have failed, because they wouldn't listen to me. They wouldn't listen to me. The Zulkarnain is someone who impacts on history twice. That is the meaning of Karnain. But I have wasted my time for 25 years. They wouldn't listen to me. No, they wouldn't listen to me. So therefore, if Zulkarnain is successful in containing Gog and Magog, the first time when he built the barrier, there is a second time for Zulkarnain to do the same thing. He will impact on history twice. The first time took place thousands of years ago. No human being lives for so many thousand years. So it's rather foolish. It's rather foolish to identify Zulkarnain with any person in history, because he's still to occur, there's still to occur a second time in history. Zulkarnain is going to contain Gog and Magog a second time in history. So I have come to the conclusion, and Allah knows best, that Zulkarnain is most certainly not a historical person, but rather a transcendental being. Good. The Quran goes on to speak about about Gog and Magog for a second time. That's only 2 times. That's all, 2 times. And the second time is in Surah Al-Anbiya, where Allah speaks of a town. He destroyed the town. He expelled the people of the town. He placed a ban on them that they could never return to reclaim this town as their own until when? Until Gog and Magog are released, not sent. Released, not sent. Released. Let me repeat it one more time. The Quran says when Gog and Magog are released, not sent, released. At that time, Gog and Magog will not only be released, but they'll spread out all over the world. And this, Wahid, for people who have even 2 pounds worth of common sense, would understand, 2 British pounds of common sense. I'm in Britain now, I'm not in Malaysia. Will understand that this is an event which will occur only once in history. Only once in history will mankind witness Gog and Magog, when they are released, spreading out all over the world. And with their indestructible power, they take control of power all over the world. And then they proceed to use that power to oppress. They're using their power in a godless way. They're using the power in a decadent way. They're using the power as a pagan people, in contrast to Gog and to Zulkarnain, who has faith in God. So when Gog and Magog are released, these people will be brought back to that town from which they had been expelled. Gog and Magog will bring them back. The question, Wahid, is which town is it? Wahid, I can continue to teach this subject from now until Qiyamah. My people will not accept. They prefer to live in their ignorance, embarrassing ignorance, but they will not accept that there is a simple way that we can recognize which town it is and identify that town. Just simply go to Prophet Muhammad والسلام, because he is the one who identified Gog and Magog with Jerusalem. Our Prophet did that. He said that Allah will destroy Gog and Magog in Jerusalem. So I am on safe foundations when I say that the town is Jerusalem. But my people, the world of Islamic scholarship, they will never accept it. I will die and leave this world, but they will never accept that the town is Jerusalem. So now then, we now have an understanding. Who brought the Jews back to Jerusalem? It's the modern Western world. Modern Western civilization is the civilization of Gog and Magog. I want to keep these words of mine in public until Judgment Day. I want to stand before Allah on Judgment Day, proudly declaring that the civilization modern Western civilization is the civilization of Gog and Magog. Gog and Magog control power in the West. So there is a second current to take place. And that second current will take place when we see power manifesting itself in the Black Sea. When I met with the Russian foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov, last year, I was surprised to be invited to be part of a small group. I don't know why they invited me to have dinner with him. And when I got a chance to talk at that dinner, I asked, can I speak to you about the Quran in Russia? And he allowed me. But he was astonished when I spoke about the Black Sea and the Quran, because he had no knowledge of that, about that. The Quran speaks about the Black Sea. And the second current will take place when you see power manifesting itself in the region of the Black Sea. But this would be power resting on the foundations of faith, and power which opposes and resists oppression, and which seeks to help those who have faith in God. So when Russia recovered Crimea in 2014, I was in Malaysia and I said, it's time for me to celebrate, because I realized that power has now returned to the region of the Black Sea, and this is power resting on the faith in the one God. And this is power which will resist the oppressor. I realize that we are now on the door of the second current of Karnaim. This was 11 years ago, 11 years ago. Russia today controls power in the Black Sea. And Russia is resisting Gog and Magog, who now control power in Ukraine and who are supporting Ukraine. So the world, the Quran has allowed me to be able to understand international affairs, understand what is happening in Ukraine, understand what is happening in the West and its relationship to Russia, while my people reject my scholarship. Wahid, what can I do?